Okay, it's late, and I need you to know that this isn't a conspiracy theory. This is me talking about a possible conspiracy. Think about it. She loses every swing state, including the ones where the other Democratic candidates won. See, the math ain't mathin'. And if you peeped one of my videos and one of my posts a couple of months ago, then you have a strong idea of what I'm talking about.
First, down ballot analysis, 2016 North Carolina presidential versus superintendent. And so what you're showing here, we see these blue lines below zero. So explain what that is.
Yep. So what we're looking at here is the zero line is the amount of votes the superintendent got for both parties. And then if you are above the line, as you said, the blue is Democrats. In this case, it was, I believe, Hillary Clinton in 2016. So if you're above the zero line, you got more votes than the superintendent of your party. We don't see a lot of negative votes here. We don't see a lot of negative drop off. And that's what's important is we think if this is what a more normal election looks like across a state, every county, now let's look at 2024. And here,
that is
where we're highlighting.
That is a stark difference in, wait a minute, come on, switch to Nola. Nola's over here going, oh my God.
That is considered normal. When you look at 2024, all the blue lines are going down. There's none up top. They're all going down. It's not like the other chart. Every single one of them is going down. That means that people voted Democrat all the way down the ticket, except when it came to the president. People, that is impossible. That cannot happen. No way at all. It's impossible.
This is just the beginning. We're seeing this trend across a majority of the swing states. Pennsylvania, for their election day voting, looks very similar. And so what's important here? As we said, the zero line here on the left axis. Zero is the amount of votes the superintendent got. And if you're above the line, you got more votes. If you're below the line, you got less votes. And each of these lines, there's a red and a blue line per county. And so what's important here is we are seeing across every county in North Carolina.
Oh, not one county.
Not one county. I think there's technically one where it's such a small underperformance that it shows almost nothing. This does not match what you would expect to see as normal human voting behavior.
Wow.
This is too consistent across every county. There's no variation. This raises alarms of potential systemic manipulation.
This is not a situation where we say there is election fraud and there aren't any numbers or data to prove that there could be. If you haven't heard, in Rockland, New York, there are districts in that county where the Democratic senator candidate actually won and Kamala got no votes. That's right, no votes.
People go and they vote, and per county, it's going to be a little bit more random. Systemic manipulation is going to have an impact across multiple counties, multiple precincts, which normal human voting behavior can't do. You can't coordinate at that level. So what would cause this? Right? That's the question, is what would cause, in this case, Harris to underperform so consistently across every county in North Carolina?
The probability of that happening is zero. More than 96% of people vote a straight party ticket during the year of the presidential election. I mean, seriously, people, there is no way possible for Kamala to get no votes. That is impossible. Nothing is kosher about that.
And we have more. If we go back up to the quantifying potential impacts, let's talk a little bit about Dr. Walter Mebane and his findings. And we have hard numbers for you. We have estimated if this is caused by a systemic issue, let's say, for example, you're deleting votes. And so we've raised concerns. The ETA has raised concerns about the tabulation machines used across the U.S. There are vote counting machines, and then there are voting machines. They're not the same thing.
Let me make this part real simple. Most of us use the vote counting machines, which also tabulate your vote after it's cast. What we are possibly dealing with is a machine that changes your vote during the tabulation process, and a hand count of the actual ballots can confirm this immediately if there's something shady going on or not. But a hand count can clear this up real quick.
So what we're going to highlight here is, as you mentioned, Dr. Walter Mebane. He's a professor at the University of Michigan. He runs the Department of Political Science and Statistics. He is the leading expert in election forensics in the U.S. There's not a lot of people who have more experience than him that have done more. And so he has his own model that he has made. It's called eForensics. And he has been developing this and using this. And he has applied it to Pennsylvania and has applied it to North Carolina. So what he did is he analyzed the statewide data for North Carolina, a working paper that he shared with us. It estimates, based on his model, up to 207,000 possibly fraudulent votes. But what's important here, the margin of victory for Trump in North Carolina at the presidential level, it's 184,000 votes. So if that higher estimate is caused by potential vote manipulation, deletion, addition, whatever could be caused at the tabulation level, that would be enough to change the outcome of the presidential race in North Carolina. Any questions there?
She won. She won the election, and the voting data shows it. That orange guy, remember?
And to quote a individual on his pre-inauguration night, he thanked a certain very involved individual that knows a lot about vote counting computers, and they won Pennsylvania like in a landslide.
He didn't need their votes because they already got them. And remember when Muskie said that if the orange guy doesn't win, then Muskie said that he would probably be going to prison.
There are a number of counties, especially in the Black Belt in North Carolina, where there are a significant, remember, Obama wins North Carolina by 14,100 votes in 2008. There are a lot of counties there where there are a lot of black people.
Here's where acting local can make a difference. In every swing state, there needs to be protests to put pressure on the Secretary of State to have mandatory hand counts immediately. There were hand counts in Georgia, Wisconsin, Arizona, Pennsylvania, in Texas. All of this happened in 2020 when there was no evidence. It wasn't even something that you could actually point out that could possibly mean there could be fraud. And unlike then, when you look at what we have now, there is credible data to conduct a recount. That's something that the Dems can force and make happen. Make them do that. Hold them accountable on that. Because people, seriously, the more we find out, the more it looks like something super, super shady has happened. And Kamala should be our president right now.